Breaking news. The nation's first contest of this election cycle grinds to a halt. No winner declared.
I imagine, have a strong feeling that at some point the results will be announced.
As officials blame inconsistencies for major delays.
Of course, I'm concerned. I'd like to see those numbers, but I think they'll get them.
Complaints growing about the brand new app used to report results, and now the demand for answers. When will we see the final results? Who was the winner? As frustrated candidates vow to push forward.
We are one step closer to defeating the most corrupt president in American history.
By all indications, we are going on to New Hampshire victorious.
Now the candidates are flooding the Granite State. That crucial primary in New Hampshire just 1 week away. Our powerhouse political team spread out on the ground, breaking it all down this morning.
President Trump weighing in on Iowa as he prepares for his State of the Union address just hours away and on the eve of that final impeachment vote.
Emergency evacuations. The U.S. preparing to fly more Americans out of China as the number of coronavirus cases tops 20,000. And this cruise ship now quarantined. More than 3,000 ordered to stay on board after a former passenger is confirmed to have the infection. ABC News exclusive. Shannon Doherty one-on-one, revealing a difficult new turn in her private health battle.
I don't think that I've processed it.
Why she's speaking out now, only on GMA this morning.
And Super Bowl stars. Jennifer Lopez making a loud statement about that Super Bowl performance. The new video right before she hit the stage with her daughter. As we learn new secrets to her show with Shakira. And we're one-on-one with MVP Patrick Mahomes on the ride of his life.
Good morning, America.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
And Good Morning America, kind of a crazy morning in politics. The Iowa caucus is in chaos this morning after the Iowa Democratic Party says it can't yet declare a winner.
This comes amid massive confusion over a new reporting system. The Biden campaign openly questioning what it calls, quote, considerable flaws.
And the candidates, they aren't sticking around waiting for the results, though. They already arrived in New Hampshire this morning for the next race.
And as we said, no official results from Iowa until later today. So much is up in the air at this hour. Eva Pilgrim starts us off in Des Moines with what we know right now. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. What a mess. This is not the finish that anyone expected here in Iowa. The state Democratic Party now having to go through all the paper documentation and manually verify the results.
Overnight, Iowa caucus chaos. After hours of delay, still no official results and no winner in the Democratic race, with the party blaming inconsistencies in reporting. But that didn't stop some candidates from claiming they came out on top.
Iowa, you have shocked the nation.
Mayor Pete Buttigieg's campaign releasing their own unverified numbers, saying their candidate outperformed expectations and the competition.
We are going on to New Hampshire victorious.
Senator Bernie Sanders' campaign releasing their own figures in response, showing Sanders with a commanding lead.
When those results are announced, I have a good feeling we're going to be doing very, very well here in Iowa.
Senators Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar both claiming they finished in the top three.
It is too close to call, so I'm just going to tell you what I do know.
You won!
We are punching above our weight.
The candidates now jetting off to New Hampshire, the site of the next contest, with the Iowa results still in limbo. Organizers in the state cite a domino effect of problems for the delay, several issues with a new app where results were to be inputted, login trouble, reporting confusion. The state Democratic Party saying they need to do quality checks, but results should be delivered later today.
We are validating every piece of data we have against our paper trail. That system is taking longer than expected, but it's in place to ensure we are eventually able to report results with full confidence.
The general counsel for Biden's campaign sending a letter to election officials demanding full explanations and relevant information regarding the methods of quality control you are employing and an opportunity to respond before any official results are released.
Well, the Iowa Democratic Party is working to get this result, get them straight.
And I want to make sure they're very careful in their deliberations.
And no matter what the results end up being, this is a real momentum buzzkill for whoever actually ends up on top, George.
You put that pretty well, Eva. No Iowa bounce this year. At least it doesn't look like it. Thanks very much, Michael.
All right, George, even though there's chaos over the Iowa results, the candidates aren't missing a beat, heading directly to New Hampshire this morning, where the first primary is taking place 1 week from today. Whit Johnson is there in Manchester tracking the latest. Good morning to you, Whit.
Michael, good morning to you. Despite the debacle that unfolded in Iowa, there's now a new sense of urgency as the candidates touch down here in New Hampshire, and they are hitting the ground running. We have video from overnight, those campaign planes landing in Manchester. Senator Amy Klobuchar among the first to arrive, greeted by a group of supporters, telling the crowd they had a good night in Iowa and won delegates in places they never expected to win. New Hampshire's primary just 1 week from today, with 42% of the electorate here made up of independent voters. Candidates trying to lock down any of those still undecided, including Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who's claiming some victory from last night in Iowa. He is about to speak to reporters here in New Hampshire and supporters as well. He has a busy day of events. He's raised the most money in the Granite State, $400,000 in 2019. But Bernie Sanders, keeping up with his national trend, still has the largest number of individual donors here. Senators Sanders, Klobuchar, and Warren making their case to voters in New Hampshire later today, but all then have to rush back to Washington, D.C. by tomorrow morning to make sure they're in place for that vote on President Trump's impeachment. Robin?
Busy times. All right, Whit, thank you. President Trump is reacting to the Iowa results this morning as he prepares to deliver his State of the Union address tonight, on the evening before he's expected to be acquitted in the Senate impeachment trial. Our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, has the latest on all of this. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Robin. The Trump camp is positively gleeful about the problems Democrats had last night in Iowa. Just take a look at this tweet from the Trump campaign using a clip from SpongeBob SquarePants. You see him running around, say, live look at Democratic Party doing quality control. The president himself has already tweeted this morning saying, quote, "The Democratic caucus is an unmitigated disaster. Nothing works, just like they ran the country." And Robin, the lack of a clear winner coming out last night or any real final results isn't the only problem. There was also turnout. Only about the same number of Democrats turned out this time as did in 2016, well short of the turnout in 2008 when Barack Obama got his big victory.
A lot of issues there in Iowa. John, let me ask you, what can we expect to hear from the president tonight in the State of the Union address?
Well, I'm told the president's been working through his speech on teleprompter yesterday with his aides. What they are telling us is this will be a positive, forward-looking message, touting his achievements, particularly on the economy. He doesn't plan to dwell, we're told, on the impeachment trial. Unclear exactly what he will do and whether or not he'll even mention it. That'll probably be a game-time decision.
We'll see. All right, John, thank you. George?
Okay, Robin, thanks. Let's talk now to two top Democrats, former mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, Yvette Simpson, CEO of Democracy for America. So you all come from different wings of the Democratic Party, but let's see if you agree. I wonder if you agree on one big thing. Yvette, let me start with you. Always been questions about the Iowa caucus, unrepresentative, 92% white, unwieldy process. Is it dead now?
I think we have to have a conversation about Iowa being dead. I mean, first of all, the state does not reflect the diversity of our party. We have to make sure it's not first. Second, this caucus thing is really unwieldy. And I don't know about you, Ron, but I'm worried about Nevada. They have a similar process.
They have caucuses in a couple weeks as well.
Are we going to be ready?
Look, Iowa has always been known as the Iowa bounce for some candidate, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. I think it's going to be now known as the Iowa blunder. Yeah. And everybody's going to go back and reconsider the fact that one state and the whole system and structure about a caucus like that. So it may be part of like 4 states. And the irony of this situation is, based on some indication, Bernie Sanders did well, but all the changes was demanded by Bernie Sanders. So he, in 2016, after the process, he said, I want the whole process changed in Iowa. He got the change.
He said he wanted a more transparent process. They came up with 3 numbers. They came up with this app, and it's created all kinds of confusion.
It's not his fault, but the fact is, the irony here is he would have been the beneficiary of that bounce. And the other thing is, George, usually you had 36 hours of a bounce. Because of the State of the Union and because of the acquittal, this is 36 seconds.
Right.
You're really not going to get anything out of this. And Iowa, in every way, it's blunder, it's short change. New Hampshire and the next two are going to, meaning South Carolina and Nevada, are going to set the tone.
Right. Our debate is coming up on Friday night in New Hampshire as well. So, Yvette, you know, coming into this Iowa caucus, Joe Biden was the national frontrunner. Bernie Sanders kind of right behind him. But this appears to be more of a muddle. What does that mean?
Well, I think progressives had a great day. It sounds like, you know, if Sanders was at the top, if Elizabeth Warren had the day that she did, it's a good thing. And we've been talking about electability. It's not good for Biden to say he's electable if he comes out fourth or third in this. You can't say you're electable if you don't win the first contest. And we're really worried about him in New Hampshire as well. Will he make it to South Carolina if he has two
where he has
terrible,
been leading?
Right. If he makes two horrible first starts, will the money still be there? Will people be behind him is the question.
I do think, look, Sanders, it looks like, again, we got a little information. It's more ether. There's a tie for second. And the real winners in this process,
Pete Buttigieg,
Pete Buttigieg,
probably.
Amy, and probably again, and Elizabeth Warren. She touched bottom and bounced back in her organization, proved valuable. Mayor Pete coming out of the South Bend, and also Amy, who basically people was at 2% a while, just 3 months ago in the rearview mirror, is all of a sudden a big contender.
Usually you say there's 3 tickets out of Iowa. It looks like there's probably going to be at least 5 or 6.
And the other person, you got to say, if it's true again, is Mayor Bloomberg has an argument to make on Super Tuesday.
I still think it's a tough road for Bloomberg. You're getting in the race late. I don't know that he has the momentum in some of these states.
I think you would agree with this. If you're going shopping and you got $1 billion, it's a lot. It's got something to say.
Well, let's hope for the Democratic Party you can't buy an election. It should be about the people, and it should be about how you're galvanizing the base and grassroots. So
it's about both.
This debate could keep on going. We're going to move on right now. Friday night, as I said, we're hosting the final Democratic debate before the New Hampshire primary, along with Manchester's WMUR. That's at 8 Eastern. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. We're going to turn now to the coronavirus emergency as cases now top 20,000. The government is sending new flights to China to evacuate Americans. The Gio Benitez is at Bellevue Hospital here in Manhattan with more. Good morning, Gio.
Michael, good morning to you. The CDC is investigating more than 80 possible cases in America right now. One of those patients is right here at this hospital here in New York City, a 40-year-old woman. And now this morning, the Chinese government is reporting 425 deaths in China alone. This morning, Hong Kong's first death from the coronavirus now sparking protests as the U.S. prepares to evacuate more Americans out of Wuhan, China. Multiple flights out of China will be sent to one of 4 American military bases where passengers will be quarantined. Wisconsin native Sam Roth has been working with U.S. officials to get his wife and 2 daughters out of Wuhan, where they were visiting family.
Trying to get medical attention in Wuhan is very challenging at the moment, since the hospitals are overwhelmed.
Time-lapse video on Chinese state television showing 2 hospitals built in just the last 10 days. One is now already taking patients. This as a Princess cruise ship is quarantined off the coast of Japan after a passenger who already left the ship was confirmed to have the novel coronavirus. American author Gay Coulter is on the docked ship.
We've been in many lines and group situations and theater situations, so it's not unlikely some of us have been infected.
Here in America, at least 11 confirmed cases. Most traveled to Wuhan, and 2 lived with an infected person. Some officials, like administrators at Princeton University, aren't taking chances, now having some students who recently traveled to China self-quarantine. Health officials are working on a vaccine, but that is still months away. Our Dr. Jennifer Ashton visiting the National Institutes of Health.
What do you think the chances are that this novel coronavirus outbreak could become a pandemic?
One of the concern in the global health sphere is what happens when you get those cases in countries that don't have a healthcare system. Will you see the kind of unfeathered spread from one person to another?
And now this morning, the first American diagnosed with the virus in Washington state is out of the hospital. It took him 13 days to be well enough to go home. And the CDC says we will likely see more confirmed cases in America in the coming days, but that officials are taking unprecedented steps to prevent that. Robin.
All right, Gio, thank you. Now to that health news from Rush Limbaugh, the radio host revealing he's been diagnosed with advanced lung cancer. Steve Osunsami is in Atlanta with more on this. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Robin. Rush Limbaugh says he plans to be off the air this week until at least Thursday while he meets with his doctors to try and figure out how to beat this.
I have to tell you something today that I wish I didn't have to tell you.
For his devoted listeners, nearly 14 million a day, this is hard to hear.
I have been diagnosed with advanced lung cancer.
Rush Limbaugh has announced that he's fighting for his life.
And as is the case with everybody who finds themselves in this circumstance, you just want to push ahead and try to keep everything as normal as you can, which is something that I'm going to try to do.
He is a kingmaker to conservatives and regularly pokes his finger in the eyes of liberals. And for more than 30 years now, he's held court at the mic. He says he's known he's been sick since last month, but waited to share it until now because he'll need to take time away to fight the late-stage cancer.
What led to shortness of breath that I thought might have been asthma or, I'm 69, could have been my heart. My heart's in great shape, ticking away fine, squeezing and pumping great. It was not that. It was a pulmonary problem involving malignancy.
Over the years, the conservative radio host has helped raise millions for cancer charities. Limbaugh says he has a great team of doctors who he's meeting with this week, who he plans to work on trying again to defeat this disease. He also says that he has a deep personal relationship with God and that he has been working on that relationship these last few weeks. Guys.
All right, Steve, thank you. We wish him all the best.
Yes, we do. And also this morning, Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes' dreams are coming true, not just because he won the Super Bowl, but also because he got to go to Disney World. That's right, the Chiefs quarterback was the star of a parade in the Magic Kingdom. And 7 years ago, Mahomes tweeted, "It must be amazing to be the quarterback who gets to say, I'm going to Disney World after winning the Super Bowl." Well, now that guy is him. He did it. He even got some time to enjoy some rides in the Magic Kingdom, and Will Reeve drew the assignment to go down and talk to him one-on-one. Amazing player. We're looking forward to that amazing interview in our next hour.
He really opened up with Will.
Yeah.
Really shared some
Will
things.
squeeze in some rides as well.
I think he did.
Sure he did.
George.
We are following a lot of other stories this morning, including an ABC News exclusive. Shannon Doherty one-on-one with Amy, revealing the difficult new turn in her private health struggle. That's only on GMA this morning.
And secrets behind that halftime performance by Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, how they got in Super Bowl shape, and the new video showing the moments just before they took that stage. But first, let's go to Ginger. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning. Biggest snowstorm of the season in Salt Lake City, Utah yesterday. They had 9 inches of snow. Meteorologist Alana Brophy was all over this. We were following her and all the road closures. Schools this morning delayed in Denver. We're following that too. In the Front Range there, Boulder had up to 9 inches. Colorado Springs somewhere between 3 and 6 inches. And now this storm is diving south. And so Texas, for example, Fort Worth is under a winter storm watch. You were nearly 80 degrees on Sunday, and now you're going to have some snow coming at you. Oklahoma City going to get somewhere between 3 to 5 inches. Tulsa should get some snow, so snow in the plains, but it'll be damaging wind threat. From Mississippi, Louisiana into Alabama and the Florida Panhandle, that is tomorrow. But Thursday, it makes its way to Atlanta, where you could see some super heavy rains. There are flood watches there from Charleston to Raleigh back to Tampa, all with the damaging winds going into Thursday afternoon. Let's get to your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the Tuesday trivia, sponsored by Chase.
Wherever we want to go, we just have to start. Auto save your way there with Chase. Chase, make more of what's yours.
It's an umbrella kind of morning, and you may want to budget a little extra time this morning. We've got some showers falling across the area up until about noon to 1 o'clock. But look at the numbers. The temperature is way warm again. We're up to 64 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow, much colder. Temperatures falling to about 40 degrees during the afternoon, feeling like we're in the 30s with some rain early part of the day. And then could see moderate to heavy rain Thursday late into Friday morning, with a possibility of maybe some minor flooding taking place.
For more than one reason. You've got the sun dogs on either side of the sun there, but also they have now doubled their sunlight. So they're, we're coming into spring, basically, is my point. It's getting better.
Yes.
Thank you, Ginger. Amy talks to Shannon Doherty when we come back.